Hello and welcome to the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. My view of humanity is a whole new tea. And today is going to be kind of an interesting subject because I saw this video, which of course I try to leave most of my receipts on here, whatever. But you can watch it, click on it, and everything like that. But it's like, one, I don't know if it's scripted. I don't know if this is for real because part of me would be like, okay, so just perfect timing. You were able to have your phone out and capture this because, or like, was it that down the street or a couple of lights back you saw this going on and then you took out your phone, or did you drive around the block, which I would kind of think is creepy, but I don't know, like, just being able to capture it from the where they did, to me, was a little off-putting and suspicious. At the same time, if it is for real that you are able to donate your vehicle and like, because especially in America with most families, like, we don't have the privilege to be able to do that. While we don't want to offer affordable housing for people, which, oh yeah, that's another, like, I need to see if I can find that video. But someone even brought it up to the light where a lot of cities don't want to place affordable housing because when you say affordable housing, they think black people, they think minorities are going to be coming into there. It's like, oh, and it's in New Jersey too. I believe it's like six, like, jurisdictions or whatever signed a petition or signed some legal stuff, like, claim that they do not want any affordable housing within those units or whatever. Anyway, like, and it's just showing how, I mean, I'll save my opinion. Like, I'll probably talk about that in a week or two, whatever. But yeah, I've got a lot of nerd subjects. I got a lot of things I need to talk and cover. But with this story right here, these two guys were driving by and they saw this woman carrying, at first like, they saw her sometimes with one baby, like, cart or whatever, and then sometimes they saw her with two, and then they realized there's three. Looks like triplets. And it might not be like, well, but to me it looks like triplets or whatever, but anyway, there's three babies in all. And so then that they're finding out that she got in a fight with her man. He kicked her out. She has nothing, absolutely nothing. And I think her family is kind of out of state, like hours away or whatever. And I think they're in Las Vegas area. And like, this example shows, well, I hope it shows other people how and why, ladies, ladies, I know some of you think that especially the white ladies, the unseasoned ladies, the European American ladies, yeah. I know some of you ladies think the 50s were so great when the women stayed at home and cooked and cleaned and just took care of their man. But yeah, there's a lot of facts you don't know. Like, they whitewash our history. Because do you know how many women were smoking the ganja and doing different things too because of depression, and they had no life? They had not, like, their whole life was their kids. And then even grew up, like, as the years were going on and other generations, women were starting to work, but some women were staying home. But then those women who were staying home, once their kids left the house, depression hit because they realized, I have nothing else in my life. I had my kids, I took care, like, but my husband I hate or can hardly tolerate. I'm tired of him. My kids are either out of the house, or they should be out of the house, or it's like they're having a hard time, or blah blah blah. But now their kids are of an age where they're an adult and they don't need to be babied and taken care of any longer. And so part of them is just like, what do I do with the rest of my life? It's kind of like a forced retirement where the only ways you can get out of retirement is becoming a grandmother or adopting. And this, well, not never mind. I was about to say something about Republicans, but I'm not, because yeah, usually it's the Republican. Whenever I say I want to adopt and foster, it's crazy how many of the Republican women are saying, "Why would you want someone else's kids when you should have your own?" And then they're pro-life. But then I realized, no, they're pro fetus, not pro life. They're pro fetus and pro women being, yeah, okay, that's a different story for a different day. Remember, I'm messy. I'm really messy. Okay, but anyway, I hope this video shows an example of why women should have at least some source of income or backup, even if it's part time, having their own bank account, or like if the man, like I know there's some men who tell the woman that they can't work. Because, yeah, I've broken up with men who, or I blocked, like if we weren't official yet, I blocked them or wanted nothing to do with them, didn't answer their phone calls because men have told me, You're not going to work. I'm not going to let you work. You're not going to be allowed to work." Excuse me? Hmm. Yeah, they talking to the wrong woman now. And so it's just, I don't. So, yeah, please, ladies, have your own bank account. Have a way to make money and try to have something as backup. Because watching this video, and she kept saying, I have nothing, I have absolutely nothing. I don't have any gas money because he even gave her a like a debit or credit card, like some kind of card that had, I think it was like $200, 200 or 2,000, I forgot, but I think it started with a two. I know that much. But he was like, just mail it back to me. Now I know, like part of me was like, this is, or I highly suggest, or I highly think this is scripted because, uh, do you, okay, can you guys tell me what the likelihood of her mailing that back? I mean, maybe she will. Maybe she is so happy. Maybe she is so thrilled. But literally, like, you have a vehicle and you have the money card. Like, you're able to give all of this. How much do you get paid on YouTube and TikTok? Like, how much? Like, you must be doing really well. Or what kind of businesses do you have? How you doing? How you doing? But and that's the thing, like I mean I wish more of us could do that, but with our economy and like people say our economy, yeah, our economy looks great and the best, but when you look at the lower half of the country, it's like because they always want to base it off of the top 20, the top 15, the top five. Like, it's like when you look at how five people in our country have more money than over 50% of the country, that's a problem. Five people, that's a problem. And so while like I'm looking at this, I don't know, it's just like, okay, this shows why, and also shows why I am never getting married. I am never, like, because, yeah, you guys already know I have had an absolutely awful dating life to the point where now I know I will probably never find a match. And there are some guys who I thought we might would be a match, but then he told me he would never sign a prenup. And I just kept, like, I don't know which order I'm going to be doing this, but I just talked about the African American bachelorette and her divorce. $500,000 she has to pay him. And oh yeah, don't forget, on the real, my makeup artist, beautiful young woman, dang, like I can't remember any names today, but she got divorced from her first husband and she owed him. Ladies, I was like, I know our churches tell us don't get a prenup because that means you're going to be getting ready for a divorce. Yeah, my pastor tried to say the same thing and then he ended up in divorce. Oops. Oops. But I mean, part of me feels like you probably like, and it's really crazy how my pastor and bishop, they preach on stuff, but then they do the exact opposite of what they preach, and it's like, okay, okay, yeah, because yeah, he was married again within 2 or 3 years. Well, okay, I'll say maybe 4 years later, he was married again. And literally going against like, well, I talked about that before, so go back to another episode. But yeah, get your prenup, get it signed. Get like if they say they don't want to sign it, like our beautiful young bachelorette, the lawyer, the smart, wonderful woman. Yeah, her man, yeah, her ex man said he didn't want to sign it. She didn't want to have it as a big issue, so she dropped it. Yeah, not dropping it cost her $500,000. And with this woman having 3 kids, I repeat, having 3 kids, she would need it like having a prenup and stuff like that, like making sure you have in writing like what the kids will need, where the kids would go, like if separated the custody and everything like that. Because now look, she's walking down the street carrying these precious lives, and she doesn't have a vehicle or gas or like food or anything like that. So I don't know if she's still, providing the milk from the babies, or if they're at the baby food level yet or whatever, but they have to eat. They need to eat. Where are they going to be sheltered? Where was she going to go? Like, because she was walking down the street, but where was she going? And I don't know, just part of me just feels like, to me, this shows an example of, and I'm not saying don't get married. Some of you guys, no, get married. Like, marriage is for some. It's not for me, but it's for some. And I just say, like, I know it's not for me because, especially having my disability, especially trying to start a business, especially with my education, a lot of men tell me that my walking would be embarrassing. A lot of men tell me that they want nothing to do with a smart woman. A lot of men tell me they don't want a woman with her own ideas, her own thesis, or her own ways of doing things. They want a woman that will follow what they say. And it's like sometimes it's like, the way they think of submissive, they think of as power, they think of as control, and it's disgusting and pathetic. And just like, being a woman should not be such a like, a lot of men act like being a woman should be a terrible thing. Being a woman means that we were only born to cater to men and their demands, their needs, and that we're supposed to just like allow them to take power over us and do what they want with us. And I know this because Mr. Lockakey, whenever he wasn't going to get his way, he threatened to punch holes in the wall. Whenever he wasn't like, especially like, I went through financial ABUSC so much with Mr. No Heart and Mr. Lockakey. And when I was trying to get my money back, whew, and it's like that, and that's the funny thing. Like, I worked my tush off. I did. Working 2 or 3 jobs so much. And a lot of these guys, they couldn't stand me because And some of them wanted me to quit, or sometimes they would tell me to, like, Mr. No Heart, he wanted nothing to do with my goals and dreams until I literally broke up with him. I just talked about this about a week ago. So check out that video. It's like a 3-parter, but when I see this example, I don't know, it's just, to me it screams, lady, get freedom. Young lady, get a job. Young lady, like, go where someone actually cares about you and loves you. Because if even if you were in a fight with your man, if he loved you enough, like, I have no idea what this argument was about, what this fight was about, but if he knew that you were walking around on the street with 3 babies, even if it was one baby, but 3 babies, and you were having to hide one behind a bush, to rotate. Girl, bye. If that man did not come after you within 5 minutes to make sure you and the kids were okay, that man does not love you. He does not care about you. He wants nothing to do with you. And I've dated men who, they only cared about what I could do for them. They only cared about the money I could provide for them. They only cared about what I can do for their children. Their children, not like, I don't have any kids. And that's one reason why it's like, even dating, like when I see that they have kids, I'm like, okay. Mm. And sometimes I'm like, okay, if they're adults, then okay. It's like, this way, I will have to have no attachment, nothing to do with their children. So, and it's sad, but mm, the things, Mr. Not, yeah. But if you've been listening to the videos, you guys already know, and I have so many more examples as well. But I don't know. It's just, I keep wondering, do you guys think this is real or do you think it's fake? If you can let me know in the messages and everything, because I am kind of 60-70% fake. At the same time, it could be real, because I remember when I wanted to have kids, my ex, literally, he said, let's talk about it. He didn't want to talk, like, and that's the crazy part. And this is why I know my ex never loved me. He lied and said he did, but he never loved me, because I drove up to the driveway to get into the house to talk. No, he had my stuff boxed up, because if I wasn't going to have it his way, he was going to break up with me. And I should have just let him, but I was in fear of being alone because of having a disability. I was undiagnosed, but my walking was getting worse. And men kept telling me that they would be embarrassed to be around me. So I was scared and in fear of being alone. But then years later, we still weren't broken up, but I could no longer walk. I was at home, crawling around the house in pain. I wanted my blanket, the blanket that was only at his house, because he would take all of the covers at night, and when I would try to get them back, he would hit me in bed. And it wasn't just once or twice or 3 times. And so I got the blanket because I was like, I already have a temperature disorder. I get cold very easily. And so I took my blanket because I'm like, okay, when I'm freezing, when he's taking the covers, I need something. But when I needed it at my house, he refused, because he told me, because he wanted the power, because he told me, after your surgery, which he would not, he wouldn't. I already told the story, so go and catch up. But it's like, when I was at home in pain, when I'm telling him I'm in pain, and then I get tired of his excuses, so I I don't call him, and it takes him literally 4 months to respond to me. I can't, like, being talking to some of my male friends or even my female friends, they would tell me if my husband has not heard from me in 3 or 4 hours, I would get a text message or a phone call. If my husband or wife or whatever relationship, if they have not heard from me in a day or whatever, they'd be like, "Where the crap you are? Are you safe? I miss you, blah, blah, blah." This guy took 4 months. And so part of me, when I see this woman, when I see this woman in this video walking with 3 babies, after 5 to 10 minutes, I be one like, does he not love her? Does he not care? Because there's not just one life on the line. There's not one heart that is crushed and one person that's trying to survive out there on their own. But now you have 3 babies too. His kids. Those are his kids. I think. Okay, maybe I'm assuming, but I'm guessing. I'm hot. Like if you guys don't think they're his kids, let me know. But it just all doesn't add up to me, because if I got in an argument and then I'm finding out, oh, he walking. Oh, he had like. I'm like, how's he walking with all 3 of the kids, all 3 of the babies? I would be getting in my car, even if I'm still upset, even if I am still frustrated. I would want to know, are they safe? Are they okay? And part of me would just be like, you know what? Like, if I was the man in the relationship, I'll sleep in the guest room or on the couch or whatever. It's like, let's just take a break. Let's just breathe. Or if I had a best friend who would let me, I was like, okay, you stay in the house because your baby should come first. And that's like, it's like, I wish I could say she comes first, but we can kind of like, in this scenario, looking at it, no, it's like if he loved her, he would not have let her walk out, especially this long of a time with those babies. And so I have to say, if he put his babies first, if he thought of their safety first, he would have already been out there. He would have already been like, okay, you guys stay in this house. I want you safe. I love you all. I like blah, blah, blah. But he didn't. So me looking at this video, I am like mostly cringing, because I'm just like, what kind of man would allow this? And is he really of a man? A lot of these men, they want to be alpha men. They want to be in charge. They want to be superior. They want the woman to be inferior and powerless and without a voice and everything like that. A lot of men want that. And even when you hear that, like the Zuckerberg jerk talk about he wants more like masculine energy at the workplace, it's just like, what? Your company, like Facebook used to, like the original thought of your site or your app was to judge women on how they looked. So you want more masculinity? All right. Yeah. All right. Okay. Uh-huh. Okay. But it's like, so seeing videos like this and seeing the men around us, like, and then the alpha men on social media is giving absolutely terrible advice. It's like, I remember seeing videos of men saying they will only date broke women because when they say they want a sandwich, the woman has no choice but to get up and make the sandwich because she can't afford anything else. When I see men say they want uneducated women because they need a woman, when they say to do something, the woman does not know how to have her own opinion and she thinks whatever he says, it must be true. And it's just so disgusting. And so when I see videos like this and I'm seeing this woman, I'm just kind of like, mm, I wonder which boat she like. Because I mean, there's so many other variations too, but it's like she doesn't have any money. She doesn't have much of anything. She's got the babies though. She doesn't have a way to feed them. So basically, he has all the power. Did he choose her because he would have all the power? Did he choose her because he knew that she wouldn't be able to fight against all of the terrible issues he would drive her through? But then when men say women are crazy, you know what? Some of us, oh, we can get very crazy, but we get crazy because you take us there. We end up crazy because when you try to tell us we have to make you a sandwich, when you try to tell us that we're not allowed to own a business, or that we're not allowed to go to school, or that we're not allowed to do the goals and like, or even hobbies and interests and things like that. Because I have, like, there's been guys who I went out with who told me I was not allowed to do even a hobby. It's like, oh, Mr. Snodgrass. He, like, and this guy was about to quote unquote propose to me. I kind of don't believe it, but like, yeah, he, 2 or 3 years later, he hunted me down on Facebook saying he was going to propose to me. But the reason we broke up was because he told me that if I did not quit promotional modeling, that he wanted nothing to do with me. He didn't want to date me anymore. And I was just like, well, I'm working on my master's. I'm trying to work for a marketing agency, promotional modeling. I'm literally working under or with connected to marketing and advertising agencies for different brands. I'm getting the experience hands on. But yeah, he told me no. He told me I wouldn't be allowed. And a lot of, especially these unseasoned white boys, I think they got black women twisted. I think, like, he was so shocked. He was so shocked when I was like, okay, then we're over. He thought I was playing. Because even when he put, like, he, to be really petty, it's like I do applaud it, like, because, like, he put I had a top and something else at his house, so I went to just grab that or whatever. He put it in the birthday bag that was supposed to be my engagement ring, which I still don't believe that, because I'm like, boy, bye, whatever, you were broke. But oh, he was real broke. But anyway, it was just, you're literally telling me that you were not going to allow me to be a promotional model just because you're the man. Just because you're the man, you're going to try to tell me what I am and I'm not allowed to do. And there's been other men who told me I wasn't allowed to get my degrees. Yeah, I've already told a lot of those stories in previous episodes, but when men tell me, if you're going to date me, then you need to drop out of grad school. You need, like, I don't want a smart girl. Why would I want a smart girl? Why would I want a woman who's going to try to test me or debate me or think other than what I tell her to do, or have a different opinion? Yeah. But anyway, this is a handicapable black woman. I am a woman, I am of color, and I am handicapable. But most importantly, I am human. You're human too. And if a person's showing that they don't love you, if they are willing to let you walk out like that, especially with one, two, or three kids or more, oh, God forbid more. But yeah, write your messages. Don't forget, like, comment, and subscribe. Put a rattle or something baby related in the messages and stuff. Okay, okay. Talk to you later. Bye.